Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Of Mice and...
Wolves. Ow!
There you go. I'm not going to make a squeaky noise. I'm sorry.
That would be. I would love to see that, though. We're gonna try. That's gonna be my goal before sometime this year. We're gonna get you to squeak.
You're going to squeak. There you go. That's enough of that. All right. All right. So my name is JD Calderon, and this is Rob. We're both indie creators, and we're here to try to help our fellow indie creators. I mean, Rob, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I mean, the independent comics industry is crazy, and best laid plans of all that and whatnot. So we are Of Mice and Wolves, and we are trying to help indie creators solve some problems that they may not be able to think about. Trying to think about they're trying to look at A, B, and C. We're going to go over to X, Y, Z and try and help them with different kind of ideas to get through these issues.
All right, cool. So let's bring on our first person.
Hi.
Hey, Carissa.
Hi. I don't know either one of you at all. Brand new.
Please introduce yourself.
This is my first show. No, okay. Corissa Grant of Worthy Chaos Comics. I've been doing this for a year and a half. Still don't know what I'm doing, and I am on issue 12. However, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I started another series. That's a supernatural Western, and that's going to be starting getting drawn in about 3 weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Carissa. You're no longer the beginner.
You're no longer a rookie.
You're an established.
I was a rookie. I said, I don't know what I'm doing, and that's perfect.
Yeah, you were rookie of the year last year. Now you're sophomore of the year.
You're no.
Halloween is my 2 years. So, and I start issue 14 then. And issue,
I mean, you're way ahead of me already.
Issue 17 is being inked. So he's halfway through being inked, but after he finishes 17, he's going to start issue 1 of Devastation, which is the Western. So because I can't even sell 17 till like June of next year, so I figure I'll do the Western and then I could, start those. But yeah, so good times.
Okay. The only thing that's keeping me ahead is that I just got more time in the game. So.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
You were getting some sleep, man.
Yeah.
He's prepping for his early morning.
Yeah.
So Josh, please introduce yourself.
For the thousands and thousands of people who have no idea who I am. I am Josh Nealis, CEO of Cutthroat Comics, and CEO is a misnomer, I suppose, because it's really just me, but it's a fancy title. I've been doing this since 2015. I've lost count on how many books and comics I've written, but it's somewhere north of 25, less than 30, somewhere around there. But we're like a full-scale publishing company. I've published for 2 other creative teams their comics, and fingers crossed, within the next 2 days, I will be signing my first manga creators. So that's the one thing I don't have on my table, and now I will. I'm looking forward to that. But right now we're doing Turkey Sharks issue number 5 is what we're pushing right now. So that's why I'm here.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Ta-da!
How you doing, Laurie?
Hi, everybody. I'm
Who the
good.
hell is she? Oh,
Huh?
I said, who the hell is she?
I don't know. Hello, everybody. I'm Laurie Calcaterra. I am Corissa Grant's administrative assistant. I help her do all sorts of things on her campaign.
And moral support. Like,
And Energizer Bunny too. Like she's got all the energy. I want
Yeah.
that.
But I don't know. She just tells me what she has to do that day, and I get exhausted. So
Yeah, that is the truth. I'm like, I'm doing these 17 things, and she's like, "Good God, go take it."
Looks like it's daylight wherever you're at. So.
Oh, it's a green screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not real. I'm giving
you're in Texas, aren't you?
Yeah, she's Texas.
Yeah. Well, it might still be light there anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's 8:00. It's still light, but I am the writer creator of Path of the Pale Rider, which is a Western apocalypse series. I moonlight for other creator-owned projects. Like I write Psycho Cell. We're working up to issue number 7, and I just did an anthology for Big Dog Inc. Their 14th year anthology, so I was really excited to be a part of that as well. So I'd moonlight and other things, but Path is my baby. That's what I do.
All right, cool. I never, I should have mentioned this. There's some people in this industry you should avoid. There's this guy named Tom. I'm gonna joke.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, Paul Pate. He's a good guy. He's
How you
been on
doing,
the show.
Don? Please introduce yourself.
I'm John Edingfield II. I'm the co-founder of Commonwealth Comics, the co-writer of Worst and Mayhem, and the artist of Worst and Mayhem. And I've got about 25 stories published in my own and other anthologies, mostly an artist.
All right, cool. All right, Rob, why don't you begin the festivities? And then
All right. So let's because Josh does have to leave first. Let's roll with him, and then we will, I guess, go.
All right, suck it, losers.
That was not allowed to lose. Forget that.
We'll do this. There you go.
All right. So Josh, and everybody, John knows how this format works. So it's basically the way we do this is we will have you tell us what your issue, topic, whatever you want us to workshop, and then we will go around however this goes, around the room. Everybody will ask clarification questions about the issue, what you've tried, stuff like that, just to kind of get a feel for what the issue is and how to, formulate their ideas for you. And then after the Q&A session, we will then go into what each person thinks about it, what their suggestions, their
I was not expecting all this work. It's a lot of work.
I'm taking notes. I'm here for it.
This
I got
is
my
this,
fuzzy pen. I'm ready.
This isn't your average. You're going to promote your Kickstarter show. This is everybody's going to help each other through the indie community.
And honestly, when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. Yeah, Kickstarter is not my strong suit. I know Rob and I haven't been at the same con for a while, but person-to-person sales is what I'm best at. Like when I'm at a con, like I get on fire. Like I can move books and stuff there. Internet marketing is definitely my weak point. And this particular Kickstarter is very frustrating because usually I'm funded in 48 hours. Granted, I keep my total low. That way I can for sure hit it. But usually, we do over $1,000 and stuff. But yeah, we're struggling on this one. So yeah, really, it's like more or less like, what do you guys do? And I would imagine some of you probably have seen me posting. I know, Laurie, I've seen your stuff for sure. And a couple of the people that have commented, I've seen their stuff. So like, what are your thoughts on like, how often do you post without spamming, I guess?
Define spamming.
Are you talking about are you talking about on your Facebook or like updating your Kickstarter?
What do you mean by updating your Kickstarter?
Do
How
you
often
send
do you update your Kickstarter? Like
Yeah.
how often do you
background.
send an update?
Like your previous campaigns, if you're sending an update to tell
No,
them.
I mean like your live one. Or I mean that too. I'm trying to get an idea of, is he trying to I'm trying to get an idea of how much are you asking, how much are you posting on Facebook or how much are you posting on your Kickstarter?
I mean, I don't post on the current Kickstarter often. What I will do is I usually go to the previous ones and message updates from there. And once we get funding, then I will say like, hey, we're almost to this stretch goal and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
I never say
generally-
that. It's bad luck.
Yeah.
Then someone pops out and you're like, never mind. Change my mind. So yeah, I stopped doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm very touchy on like how much, I try to promote and stuff, but I just try not to overdo it. And I guess, yeah, like I said, I'm not that good at it.
Laurie.
I post every single day when campaign is live. I will do different types of posts. So sometimes I will pitch the story. Other times I will show off the cool merch. Other times I will show off artists that are involved, cool variant covers. So and so did this sticker for us. I get crazy and I just post like reels of me doing crazy stuff. Anything to get the link out there. One thing that I found actually
Well,
in this.
before we get into like the suggestions and
Oh,
what we
I'm
do
sorry.
stuff,
We're
yeah,
still
this
asking
is
questions.
the
I just went
Q&A.
right in. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
start answering the
So
thing.
if there's
My
anything
bad.
more that you want to ask him about clarifying, like what he's done already,
Okay, well, let me ask
we're
him
not
then.
like hashing stuff.
Sorry.
No worries. It's all good.
What social media platforms are you on?
Instagram, Snap, which is mostly just my close family and friends. TikTok, Facebook, and I do kind of change up the way I post. Like I will post a variant cover, and then sometimes I'll post the link in the comments. Sometimes I'll post it right in the body. Other times, I will say like I'll write like a stupid little joke and then put the link in it or something. Yeah, so I try to change it up too, and I have graphics that I use, that has like all for this one that there's 3 covers. It'll have like all 3 covers, and then sometimes it'll have just 1 cover. So I try to change it up the way I post things. It's just difficult to get through.
I post like 3 times a campaign. Don't look at me.
John, you have any questions?
3 times a day.
I do have a question. Just clarifying, what do you consider too much? What you keep saying, you don't want to spam people, but where's the threshold? Is it once a day? Is it once a week? Is it once every 3 days? Is it on one platform? Is it on, where is that threshold that you think it's spammy?
Yeah. So for instance, with the Facebook groups, because I have lists of them that I'm in there. I don't know how many there are, like 30 or something. So I try to hit those maybe twice a week. And because I don't know if you guys notice, especially Facebook, the way it is, you'll see shit from like a week ago and it's popping up for the first time. Yeah. So I feel like, if you post in there too much, then you're going to get like 16 things in a row, of all the same, of me just clogging up people's feeds and stuff. I try to post at least once a day on each thing, at least.
Hi, Grant.
Okay.
JD, do you have any questions?
Okay. So you obviously have a mailing list, right?
I do, yes.
Okay.
And I just changed that because I do just once a month normally. And I've been telling people when I put out, in the last one saying like, hey, we're going to do once a week on the mailing list now during Kickstarters.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you just using your mailing list? Do you use, let's say, like BackerKit, the service they provide?
No, I have MailChimp.
You have MailChimp? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Rob, the ball is in your court.
Yeah. So, sort of to clarify what JD was saying about the BackerKit launch does have it's just kind of like a limited thing for the campaigns. Any of all your past backers will go, so it's not like a regular email platform like MailChimp. Mm-hmm. It's good to have both, but we'll get into that after. So besides email, besides social, are you doing any, and besides, hopping on, your friendly, vlogs and whatnots, are you doing any lives for yourself? Are you hosting any? Are you doing anything like mid-campaign promotions that you're hopping on there and say, hey, we have this new thing that we're throwing out there as an add-on or a pocket reward or something to kind of help jumpstart the middle of the campaign?
Yeah, I've noticed people doing that, especially with like, here's a new cover halfway through and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm timid about that because I kind of want everything up front, but it takes a lot of time to think about all that stuff. And I know that sounds like an excuse, but you guys know it takes a lot of time to build these things. I know I was on a live the other night, and the one guy I published for, he was looking at it. He's like, man, you put a lot of stuff on here this time. I was like, I know. I like put everything on there I could to try to, get people in and stuff.
All right. Does anybody have any more questions, or should we just go ahead and jump into the suggestions?
Or you can be Laurie and just bulldoze your way in.
It's that energy.
I'm sorry. I was just like, here's what I would do. Sorry.
I mean, I do have one more question, but it might be answered as we go forward. So let's just go ahead and let Laurie take over.
Yes, I'm single.
Good. And go.
I am Corissa Grant's administrative assistant. This is my job. I'm just gonna give you one more tip because I already ran over a bunch of them with the bus. But one thing I know Corissa does that she asks open-ended questions that are fun. So, like, what's your favorite? What movie would you never wish your enemy to watch? And people are replying and they're participating. Here's what happens when people start answering questions on your posts, they start seeing more of your posts.
Okay.
The interaction there.
Yeah, I've noticed
so many people stole that idea for real.
I've seen people doing that, and I'm a sucker for those too. So
exactly,
Yeah.
That's just it. Like people.
But that's it. Once
posting
you
those
start
vague
doing stuff
posts.
like that, Carissa's posts are now going to show up on your news feed more often because the algorithm says, "Oh, you're interested in Carissa's stuff, so we're going to show you more of Carissa's stuff." For me, how I do that, I will change my profile picture 3 times a week. So even if I don't do much, I just change my picture and I put my link. People are like, "Oh, you look great," or "Oh, you look this," or whatever. But they're commenting on my picture, and the same thing happens. They start seeing more of my posts. Just saying.
Carissa.
All the men here are going, well, that doesn't work for us.
Change your profile picture. Absolutely. Change it to things from your comic. Change it for pictures for you. Change it for pictures of you in high school. It doesn't matter what you put there. But when people comment on the picture, that's tricking the algorithm.
Well, Laurie stole my suggestion. Even though she had her own of changing her picture, she had to say mine too. Yeah, you're like, Carissa does this. So like
Carissa does that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I can't use that one. So what would you like me to tell him that I do?
Well, you go on like all the podcasts. Talk about that.
Yeah, I learned that from watching you. Laurie's like, I'm on a podcast.
Sure, steal my thing. We'll trade off.
I did.
I'll tag you in. Ready? Tag.
One of my, besides the open-ending questions, which I, by the way, don't do during my campaign, I do it the month before because then I'm in all their algorithms for my Kickstarter. So Laurie left out that very important part. But
she had to fill you in.
But something that I do that has gotten really good response besides the open-ending questions. I will get an artist to do sketches for different covers, and then I post it and ask what they like the best. And I can do that in multiple groups. And then people just love telling me what to do. So I get all their suggestions, and it actually helps me out because I can't, as Laurie knows, make a decision to save my fucking life. So they help me make a decision. Or they make it worse, where I had one in my mind, and then they're like, "Oh, this, and this," and I was like, "Well, shit." And then I just asked Tom. But generally, I ask people to pick on even if sometimes I already know what I'm going to do, and at times I thought I knew what I was going to do, and then I posted it, and then I changed my mind. So, but that gets me in all their algorithms too. And not only that, they get interested in the cover and they ask me about the cover. And then I say, "Oh, did you like the cover?" And they say, "Yes." So I say, "Hey, would you like to read issue 1 for free? And here you go." So I do that too. And that's another thing too, is giving them my issue. Granted, I have like 17 issues, but giving them my issue 1 and 2 actually gets them interested in the story. Generally, what I say is, if you would like to read issue 1 and 2 for free, send me your email. And then I now have their email to add to their mailing list. And I had 118 last campaign.
To add on to that, since you have MailChimp, you can make a landing page. You can send the landing page, set up an automation where it will send them a link to a free download. So that's something you could be like, "Hey, you want to read the first issue of this? Go here, sign up for the email list, and you get a free download," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you have to pay for that, or does that come with the free version?
There should be a free version.
I don't think Chimp is free anymore, but Substack is. I heard I never used Chimp. I heard it's not free, but I could be wrong.
MailChimp is free to an extent.
I think it's like
once you get
2,000.
past it, yeah.
Yeah, 2,000 email addresses or something.
I don't have that issue, but I use Substack. That's pretty good. The
I
only
got
problem
that.
is, yeah, I'll save my problem for my problem.
Yeah, there you go. So, John, do you have any suggestions? Anything?
Well, I mean, so I have a lot of thoughts. I don't know if there are suggestions yet.
It's more than I got.
Part of it is I'm still trying to understand. I'm still trying to understand. You're not going to be spammy to people who want to buy your product.
Right.
Okay. So if somebody thinks that your emails that are going out or your messages or you're sharing on Facebook or Instagram, which you're not really going to get a lot of conversion from, or Twitter, if they view it as spammy, they weren't going to back you anyway. They were never going to back your project. Your true fans are gonna they may not see it because Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and they're all gamed to promote themselves. They're all gamed to make money for that platform. And so you have to be very consistent in putting your stuff out there. You have to share it consistently. You have to share it a lot. You have to share it in multiple places. The thing that becomes spammy is if you're part of a group and that group, you don't interact with anybody in there and all you do is promote.
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing, then that is where the spamminess comes in. But otherwise, if you're active in that group, those members are going to be, active in at least looking at your project. One of the things that I would suggest is something, it's an investment, but it's something like Backer Kit Launch, which was mentioned. One of the things that you can do with Backer Kit Launch is not only will it allow you to send emails to your entire group of past backers from all of your campaigns in one email. So you're not sending an email to campaign 1 and sending an email to campaign 2 and sending an email to campaign 3. You're sending one email that targets all of those people all at once. But in addition to that, you can import your email list into Backer Kit Launch. So because we've already done that. You can take your current email list of however many people are on there, and Backer Kit Launch will aggregate that and eliminate the duplicates. And then you're sending an email not only to your email list, but you're sending an email to all of your previous backers all at one time. And
there's also a way to segregate that. So you could still, so in your MailChimp, you could have, these are non-Kickstarter backers. I'm still mailing them over here, and then mail all the Kickstarter backers. So you could use both of them simultaneously.
Yeah, but for ease, if you're wanting just to send one email a day or one email twice a week or one email once a week to update your campaign, you can do it that way. So it's targeting everybody all at once. And that's an important thing. In addition, I think your Kickstarter page is a little bit sparse. And that might be why you're not getting a lot of traction to your page.
Can we pull the page up? Does anybody have it, JD or Josh?
I have it up currently.
You can share it and I'll pull it up.
You want me to share it?
Yeah,
How
sure.
do I do that?
I put it in the chat there.
Do I press presenter or you got it?
I got it.
JD's got it.
Okay.
Or does JD have it?
Did I not share it?
Yes, you got it. It's good.
Oh, okay. I was like,
we're good. Yeah.
I thought I hit the button.
All right. So, do you want to scroll as John kind of talks to his point there?
Yeah. So one of the things. So I have probably not as many as Rob, but I have backed close to 500 projects on Kickstarter. I have launched, combined with Ryan, we've launched 10. One of the things that there's the end of your page. You don't have, we like to highlight the team so people know who's working on the project.
Okay.
You know, we also like to tell people what we're raising the money for. We put a little graphic in there that shows where the money is going. You've got some great pages there. You're showing some great artwork, but you're really not talking a lot about what's going on. And there's no graphic that shows the rewards at all. You have a stretch goal thing, but you haven't even hit your goal yet.
Right.
So that's a little bit preemptive, I think is the right word.
Premature.
Yeah, preemptive.
Okay.
So, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that if you dressed up your campaign page a little bit more, you might get more traction. You might get more visitors to it. How big is your email list, Josh?
300 or so, something like that.
Okay, that's a nice size list, man. You currently have 13 backers. I looked at your other campaigns while everybody was talking, and you're averaging between 32 and 50 backers on any given campaign. The key here is slow and steady growth, right? You want to have a little bit more than you had on the last one, a little bit more than you had on the last one, especially since you're serializing this, right? These are. Well,
this is the last issue, but yeah.
But okay, this is the last
of this one. Yeah.
But you want more meat for people to know who you guys are. So they get in there and
some social boost too would help for that. Would help if you have anybody who has commented or put on reviews or that helps too.
Yes, yeah. Social proof, any of that stuff. But it also gives people, they're reading this and they feel like they're involved in the Kickstarter, which is part of engagement, right? And that's important. And those are really my thoughts. I think for you to reach people, you need to redefine what you think is spam. Because if you're at a show, if you're selling at a show and you see somebody walk by once and you reach out and say, hey, how you doing and whatever, and then you see them again, do you just ignore that person?
Oh, right? No.
So it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Just because somebody saw it once, maybe they didn't see it, maybe they didn't hear you, maybe they had somewhere else to go, maybe they had to take a shit. Who knows, right? But they, you want to have that same mentality when you're sharing it on social media. Somebody may not have seen it. More than likely, they haven't.
Right.
With 8 billion people on Facebook alone, the chances of your thing getting out there at any one time is very small. So you've got to game that by doing it multiple times.
Can I add something real quick? And Josh, you had already mentioned something. No, I can't. Okay.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yes, please.
I think he meant it.
I think you meant it too.
I did.
And I'm going
That's
to
right.
shut up.
Bastard John making enemies on the first night. No.
I was just going to say, Josh, you kind of
John.
nailed it on the head earlier
John.
where you were like, I posted in this group and it doesn't show up for 7 days. That's the algorithm, as a whole. Sometimes people are liking stuff that I posted on my profile 7 days ago. So if you're not posting every single day,
or it might not have even been approved by the admin.
Well, that's it. That's
like
part of it. I had
6
things approved by the admin for my campaign that ended in July this week. And I was like, welp. But what I did is I went in and I posted the link to my website. I was like, campaign's over, but you can still order this off my website. Here's the link.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's all pretty good advice. And it's I don't know. I don't think that way. And I will definitely do that because it is good advice. I don't know. When I look at a Kickstarter campaign, like I barely ever even scroll down, honestly. Like I generally I'll like flip through it real quick just to see it's not like a total piece of junk. And then like, as long as the prices are fair, then I'll back it,
Well,
So
that's also coming from a creator mentality too. You need to think about what somebody who's buying something,
Yeah.
like, it's like when they go into a comic shop and they're looking at the rack, they get to pick up the whole book and look at it. I mean, they could basically unless like the shop owner is going to yell at them and say this is in a library, but like, they can flip through the whole thing and be like, okay, I want this or not. You know what I mean? So like, you want to give them as much information, as much things to trust you, to like the book, to enjoy the art, and to kind of give a little bit of the story as well. Like, tell them a bit about yourself. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. See, and that's the thing too. Like when I'm doing in-person sales, like I talk about them before I talk about me, just to like ease people into like, I'm not the boogeyman. You know what I mean?
But that's a good thing, because that's what you should have on your page. Hey, if you dig this type of story, then you're gonna love this thing because this is what it is, right? That's the salesmanship of your page when you put that on there. Like on our page, Worse Than Mayhem, we have a thing if you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, if you like mythology and history, then you're gonna dig this because this is what we're doing, right? It's the same type of thing. You're just putting it in words on a page instead of speaking it to a person directly.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And think about how you approach somebody at a con, or rather they approach you and you bring them in.
Right.
So think about that. So I would say record yourself like you would be talking to somebody at a con, watch it back, and maybe then then type that out. Type out what you're saying, like that you think that like that's what usually like people get on the hook, and then put that into a section at the top, or somewhere like in the campaign where it's very easy to read. That would help. And treat it like you're at a convention. Treat your live shows like you're at a convention. Like that's you want to hone in on the skills that you're already using. You've already mastered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to your other point, man, I scour Kickstarters. Like I go through it line by line. I because I'm always looking to steal an idea on how to make my Kickstarter better. So I'm like looking, and it's like research. It's like market research, right?
I see John's like the Hamburglar of Kickstarter.
Dude, that is it, man. It's like, what are you doing that I'm not doing that's getting you? How come you're where you're at? And the same thing. I always think that everybody's looking at my page the same way, right? I'm thinking that they're going to come to my page and they're going to look at it and go, oh, well, he's got this on there and I'm, whatever. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, so we're about the half hour in. So does anybody have any final thoughts for Josh before we move on?
He needs merch.
He needs merch.
The only thing I can advise is like I think pretty much all of us are like Facebook entrenched, right? So I think there are other platforms. I've looked into Reddit. Twitter is what it is. But sometimes we might want to look into some of these other communities, especially Reddit. I found Reddit really interesting. Like you could just go in, but you do have to be active in that community for them to really pay attention to you. So sometimes it is worth going outside and looking outside, because we are kind of like in our Facebook bubble, and sometimes reaching out might get you some traction. But like I said, with Reddit, you have to really get in there and really interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if it just depends on time, because I know like I don't have time.
Yeah. TikTok, I get plenty of interactions on TikTok, but you can't link anything is the problem. So
it'll be every other Tuesday, Paul.
Yeah.
There's TikTok shop. Did you do a TikTok shop, Corissa?
Nope.
No. Okay. I thought for some reason you did some shop somewhere.
I started one.
I was going to, and then I heard they steal your info, and I didn't want to put my card in there, but.
Did you say that you did one, Rob?
I did. I set up one, and it has my trades on there. I just haven't. I'm just not like doing the vertical videos is less, because you have to like take all your like your horizontal like and then flip them that way. I just too much time.
No comment.
So, all right.
I haven't looked into doing a TikTok shop, but I know some people have great success, but I think it's just another place just to.
Yeah, it's just another
Have it.
sales place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, link backs to your website.
That's a
In
good
your
point. I
profile.
wonder if we could do that instead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's move on, and shall we do this counterclockwise or clockwise? For who goes next?
Carissa,
Let's do Carissa. You want to go next?
I need help with merch. No, I'm just kidding.
Lies.
Right.
Have you thought of plushies?
No, I just
holding one.
it's on my my
There you
chat.
go.
Yeah. I would say I'm sure there's a ton of things I need help with. To narrow it down probably takes longer than me to think of one. I would say with all
What are
the
you
talk,
struggling with most right now?
well, you speak about emails. I wrote 14, well now 15 full novels, but for the life of me, I can't write an email or an update at all. Like I never know what to say in them. I hate doing them. All I ever say is, okay, mine's like literally 4 sentences. I have never anything to say. I talk nonstop, but apparently I have nothing to say when it comes to writing an email. So you guys always talk about, oh, you need your email list. And I was like, I never know what to say in them at all. So if I was going to pick something, it'd probably be that.
Okay. All right. So who has questions for Carissa on how to write a decent email?
May I start with this one?
Yes.
So Carissa, all right. So obviously you've written novels, right? Do you write short stories?
Nope.
Right.
Short
So
is
you
not
might-
in my vocabulary except for my name.
Exactly. Right. So you might want to start there, right? Writing short stories. Try to listen. The 1-pager, the 500-word one, toughie, right? 1-page comic, 2-page comic. Because what it is it makes you think about things in a.
It's not going to
tighter-
translate for me into a newsletter. It really does. I'm being like, my mind has nothing. It just does not have anything to say that's important to anybody. Like I just don't have anything to say.
But my point is that you want to try to compress your thoughts, right? And sometimes learning how to compress a story down, you can start with that process and then translate it into an email, translate it into a newsletter. You know what I mean? You have to get, because we all have that problem where we write these long things and then we got to edit them down. I know I've written 60,000, 70,000 word novels and chopped them down to like a third, of that. But it's just a matter of just going in there with that red pen and just going to town.
So who has another question?
I have a question. You have an email list, correct, Carissa?
Yep.
Yes, I believe she said she was using Substack.
And you're using Substack. Okay.
Don't let JD find out.
I mean, Jay's welcome to come on the show. It's just not Jay's show.
Here's the thing.
How often do you plan to send an email out?
I don't plan anything ever.
You don't plan anything ever. Great. All right. Well, then, Laurie, it's your turn.
Yeah,
Laurie, how do you plan to send out her emails?
Yes,
Yeah,
I was going to say
Laurie-
that's my job anyway because I'm the administrative assistant.
There you go.
I can jump into suggestions, but we'll wait.
Yes,
I'm
please.
brainstorming things for Carissa because she doesn't send updates because her books are complete. See what I mean? So with Kickstarter, like for me, I'm updating my people, telling them where we are in the progression of production. She's already done. So by the time her Kickstarter is done, there are no updates that are happening because
They're
she's
even in
shipping
hand.
books. So it's different for her. I can see where it could be a challenge to do like an email, but she's so far. Like, do you want to tell people how far ahead you are? Like, are you going to tell them you're excited about your story? Like, I think we can brainstorm ideas for things for her to put in an email, like in a Substack, just to keep people excited. But I don't think that her situation is typical. You know what I mean?
Which honestly, I do have a bunch of suggestions for her. However, let's continue with the questions first.
I don't have any. Move along.
Josh. Well, I mean, you know her better than anybody at this
That's
point.
why
I
I'm
feel
not
like you-
asking any questions. I'm just trying to brainstorm answers because I know what her situation
Yeah,
is.
I don't think I have any other questions. I'm ready to jump in with suggestions to help.
Let's see if Josh has.
Listening. I want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write some down.
Josh has any questions.
Josh.
Yeah, I mean, do you put like graphics and links and stuff in all your emails? I assume, right? Yeah, I mean, that's a good portion of the emails I send out.
That's like 4 lines.
Yeah, it's
Like, here's a new plushie, here's a new cover. Books
not,
already
not
in,
quite
when they're shipped, and then I'm done. Like 7 days later they're shipped. So
not quite a question, but like my emails, it starts out like the first thing is just a little blurb, and it's basically the news section. Here's everything that's happened since the last email, more or less. And then from there, it's all the graphics and links to all the new stuff and old stuff.
All right. So since nobody else has any questions,
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. I mean, because this one is kind of a very easy, obviously, like, she's basically what to do with adding it to an email. So everybody has their things. Let's go ahead and jump in.
I guess I do have a question.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
It's through Substack. That's where you're emailing from?
if I'm doing it right, sure.
Okay. So like on MailChimp, they have like, it's like a header and then a subheader. Does Substack have that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I usually try to put something fun and catchy in there. So I don't know. I don't know what you're putting in that section.
Me
But,
neither.
yeah.
Okay. John, you said you had a lot for her, so I will let you.
Well, it's not really a lot. It's so one. I am not the best person to talk about this subject because I have just sloughed off the email onto Ryan's shoulders because when we started Commonwealth Comics, we combined our email lists, and then he is really good at sending out a weekly email, and I was like really bad at doing it. But it wasn't the writing of it. It was just sending it was always the problem. One of the things that actually Tyler James had recommended when writing an email, I went through a thing called List Launch, which is a whole, Rob did too, a whole thing on how to build your email list. But one of the things that he recommended when writing your email is to write it to a friend, like you're talking to a friend.
But I'm out.
No, write it to me.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Full of curse words.
Because when you're writing a letter to a friend, the passion that you have for your project and everything else comes out, versus when you're trying to write to a group of people and you're trying to write something that has anything of substance, you know, it's always a problem because you're like, I don't know what to say. People aren't going to want to know what I want to have, right?
I still wouldn't know what to write. Even if I'm writing a Laurie, I write her like two word reply. I don't know why she keeps replying, but
All right, well, so here's something for you. So you're constantly showing new art, right?
yeah.
You're constantly talking about like what inspired you, like, you know, when you're talking about like the, you know, the Resident Evil stuff or
But they've all heard that.
Supernatural or, you know, all that.
Yeah, but they've all heard that. Like
it doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. You know what? The email people and the social media people are not necessarily going to overlap.
No, but these are all my backers. I only have emails from like backers, so like they know this story. What I can't send the same thing out every single time. So.
Well, no, but you can elaborate on it. You can find a different piece about it, like just a generalization for one, if you know, inspiration, you know, could begin and open up into a whole another thing. Plus, you know, what you could probably do to kind of start holding back like, yeah, we know you're like 10 issues ahead of everybody else in the world. So, but you're also showing that art months before you even get to that issue. Like I remember. So like compile that stuff that you have or that you want to share that amongst your friends. That's fine. You know, share the next one with, you know, start making it like very like it's for the backers. You want to make sure you're doing it in your Substack first. So that it's important for them to see it there first. And then
that's what I do at the end of the Kickstarter. I put the pre-launch page, the link, and I said, here's the pre-launch for the next one. The day it ends. and then I show these are the covers that are going to be in it, and these are a couple of and that's it. And then when I launch, I send another one saying, it's live, and make sure to check out these or whatever. But that's it. I have two ideas, and I send them out twice. So when I end and when I start, that's it. I have nothing to say in between.
So you know how you're constantly posting like the processes of the image or your covers, like you're getting like the pencils, and then you're getting the inks, and you're getting the colors.
Yeah.
Like that's stuff that you can also do to string things along at different like levels as you're doing it. And talk about why did you choose that position? Why did you choose that artist? Talk about the artist that you chose. Like give the artist like a bio in your emails. I've done that before where I've taken cover artists and just basically shared all of their stuff and said, they're doing my stuff, go check it out.
I have an idea.
Okay.
What if you send one email a week and every week has like a theme? So like week 1, you send out a poll, whether it's about art, whether about a new piece of merch, poll. So they're interacting. Week number 2, you reveal the results of the poll, and then you give them an art update. So they're not really, participating in the art, but like, here's the results from the poll. By the way, check this out. So there's an art update. The third one can be like your Kickstarter update. So you're either launched, you're either live, or you're not. It's every other month, right? So when you're live, you can send the email like, we're currently live. Here's the links. Make sure you go check it out. And if you're not live, here's the link to next one, right? So that's that whole email for that week. And then the 4th week, I thought maybe like fan art or artist bio, like Rob said. I think that would be easy, because then you're like, okay, what week are we on? First week, it's a poll. You know what I mean? And then you just you do the same thing every month, but it changes it up every week. And it's stuff that you already do. You're already sharing art. You're already polling. You're already doing Kickstarter promotion. So it's very easy to you don't have to do a lot in the email, because people aren't going to read it anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you only need a few sentences per.
Oh, well, then I'm doing it right, because.
But I mean, like, if anything, you could also be posting
doing a
about
vlog.
your vlog. Yeah, you have your Monday thing, that you do every week religiously. I mean, you've been doing it very well. Like, that's something that you could promote about.
I might steal this. I really like my idea I came up with for you. And I'm also going to do it, because I don't have an email list right now. So
yeah,
I
will
copy and paste you in it. How about that?
Well,
I'll do
asset
it.
redistribution.
Yeah, I'll just send you copy and paste. You send mine out to your people too. That's great. We'll do that.
All right.
Administrative assistant. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. I think I only started an email list because of Rob. So
yeah, I don't have
one. I only added Rob because he had a plushie. So it's that's it. If you had a
spirits. Yeah. You guys have real plushies. I got this.
Yeah, it's the other
I
one.
got the bee plushie, but this is the one I want.
Rob posted this, and I was like, "Oh, I want to be your best friend forever." There you go. There you go.
Corissa threatened me to do a plushie, or she was going to show up at my house.
Yes, and now I have one. So it worked out well. Where is my plushie? He's hiding somewhere.
Bluey cosplay.
Do it.
My bear ran away. I have a lot of plushies. I have, these are the pillows that I had you get. These are great pillows. I just ordered a Western one, but that was for me. So
did you really?
It's for me. It's for me.
Okay.
And then I ordered
here's another thing. You're getting all this merch. You have all this stuff you can talk about.
That's what I do. That's all I talk about.
Well, I know you talk about it. You post about it. But put that in an email. Like,
I usually put what's next. Like, that's the thing. It's like I have 2 emails. It doesn't have anything of substance. It usually has a picture of merch and it has a picture of a cover.
And talk about it. Talk about the product. Talk about that merch. Why did you choose that? What are you using? Who are you using? Like there's a lot of substance to creating these things. Like, I can tell you the whole story behind this thing.
Because I absolutely hate getting emails. So kind of like how Josh doesn't put a lot of stuff on his Kickstarter page because he doesn't look at other people's Kickstarter page. So I don't look at anybody else's email. So I never know. I never put out anybody else's email.
That'll be a new practice. Start opening emails or signing up for the people who you like and know and trust.
I
See what
unsubscribed
they
to like
do.
4 today.
Well, then clearly they weren't keeping your attention.
I didn't read them. Yeah. I'm horrible. I used to read all the time, but now it's like I'm writing stuff. So I skipped over to that side.
It's a muscle that you have to work at. I mean, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. And John and JD can attest to this. It's something, if you're going to do this regularly, you have to like push yourself to do it. And you have to like look and see what other people are doing and, keep pushing until it becomes second nature.
Pops knows me well. His sentence reflects me. This sounds like work. This sounds like Laurie stuff. So Laurie posts every day and she has something interesting to say. I think I've been live for 24 hours. I have yet to post. So I probably will post twice, and then after halfway mark I get scared to post because it reminds people to cancel, and don't.
So that's just it. Like, unless you have something to update on the campaign, you don't necessarily need to post something on that campaign.
Yeah.
It's the past campaigns that you want to then go and promote to. Because really, if they're already on your current campaign, you don't want to promote them.
Yeah.
Like that, only if you have something new to share. Like you're like, oh, hey, we just unlocked this, another brand new plushie or another, 3D printed thing that I just came up with.
Does every single person that's on your email list back your campaign?
Probably not. They've just done it in the past. I only have emails from people that have backed.
Right.
So.
But if 100% of the people that are on your email list aren't 100% of backers, then your email list is important for them to back your project.
Yeah.
And if you want people to back your project and you want people to be engaged with you, you need to be engaged with other people, which means you should be reading other people's emails and finding out how to improve your own email. That's again, steal from them, market research, right? Of course, I liked Laurie's idea because I've already stole that. I already sent the text to Ryan to tell him that we're adding that to our process. So it's all great. But, you've got to engage, and if you want people to do things for you, you have to do things for them too, right? So, I understand. I hate my inbox. My task every day is my inbox is clean. I want it to have no emails in it every single day.
The opposite. I'm like, I have 74 emails.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah.
Pops will do it for me.
Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to give you a heart attack, John. John's like, don't email that woman.
I don't have a problem. Ryan just went through his emails. He had thousands of emails.
Doesn't he have like a separate email account just for Kickstarters?
Just for Kickstarter. Yep. Just for Kickstarter. Yep. And then he went through and he just went through and turned off notifications for just about everybody. So he's not even going to get their emails anymore because he's just like, he had thousands and thousands of emails. Now at the same time, there's like 50 creators that we follow and back and are engaged with and read and promote. And, so those guys, he's still, but there's a bunch of, he's backed like 600-700 campaigns. So,
I mean, as someone who's closing in on 900 backed campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets my goat so much when somebody has like 10 campaigns that they update the same thing all at once. So I'm getting 10 campaign emails from
they're all the same email.
Yeah, all the exact same. Instead of using Backer Kit Launch, which is only $100. It's only $100.
It's $100. Yeah. Exactly.
I might get the launch Backer Kit thingy.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
I mean, especially after you have a few campaigns under your belt, it makes more sense.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With your 14 campaigns.
You were the prime candidate for Backer Kit Launch. You were why it exists.
Okay, in my defense, I asked Rob, should I get backer kit? And he told me not till I have 200 backers. So
That's
I have
back-
not.
No. That's different.
Backer kit launch and backer kit are two
I
different
know, but I
things.
didn't know about backer kit launch. He just told me about backer kit.
Right. Yeah,
So,
backer
it's really
kit
complicated
pledge
anyway.
manager is only good for 200 backers, but if you're emailing, launch would be the way to do it.
Right.
I'll have to look into that. Okay, somebody else.
All right. So anybody else have any more ideas for Corissa on how to write a interesting, compelling email?
I think you guys answered it.
Just
Send me
pretend
20
that
bucks.
you're writing the email in the voice of Mr. T.
I paid a fool who doesn't buy my pleasure.
Yeah.
Send me $20, I'll do it.
I'll give you $20.
Yeah, see, I knew she'd do it. She would definitely do it.
Yeah. And this was not an option before. What the hell?
She's like, I don't think anybody do
I don't
anything I
email.
don't want to
Never
do.
thought about it.
Yeah. I thought about hiring because that's how I got through college. I hired people to do my essays. So I considered it. So
The writer
I was like,
hired somebody to write her essays.
yeah, I took a 9-month bachelor course. I had to get a new job and I needed a bachelor's and it didn't matter what it was.
9
So-
months?
9 month. Yeah, it was 9 credit courses. So halfway through, I was like, I'm just gonna hire someone to do this shit. And they're so whatever. It was I now have my bachelor's in criminal justice. So if you need anything, I don't know any of it, but if you need anything,
Alrighty then.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. The modern American system, education system.
Carissa doesn't, she's not capable of lying. So
That
you know
is-
why? Because I have no memory. So if I lied, I would just tell you the truth like 5 seconds later. So it's just easier to just tell you the truth and just get it over with. So,
she's also a goldfish.
yeah. Yeah. I wish goldfish have 3-minute memory. I have
She's
a-
Dory from Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did relate to that character if I remember. Right. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh,
So, any more questions or any more ideas or anything? If not, we can move along.
Laurie?
Who would like to go? Yeah, Laurie.
Ooh, and I thought about this. I didn't have anything yesterday, so
I got mine during the campaign.
Huh?
During the thing. I got mine during the I
During
thought
the
of it
show last
halfway
night?
through. Yeah, I didn't have anything. So I was like, I'll think of something.
what do you guys think about duplicating yourself in some way, shape, or form?
We're not cloning you.
Because I don't
I
mean
couldn't
actually
do this.
clone, but
There you
how
go.
to I don't know, bring people in your team, incentivize your team so that way they want to participate more. Because as a creator, when you first start, you're running the campaign, you're doing all the podcasts, I'm doing all the financing, I'm planning all the merch, I'm doing all the fulfillment, I'm the one talking to all the vendors. But how do we duplicate ourselves? Because time is all we have, right? I only have so much time in the day to do the 17,000 things I need to do. How do I duplicate myself specifically for the Kickstarter?
Now,
I'm
if you
still gonna
find
have
the
to-
answer to this, I would definitely like to steal.
What's that?
I said, if you found the answer to this, I would
Well,
love to steal that
here's
answer.
some things that I have tried, that I've just started trying, and
Oh,
it
that's
just
your own question.
depends.
That's how efficient she is.
What?
I said you're so efficient. You're just going to answer your own
I'm
question.
not going to
That's
answer
all.
my own question. I
That's
want to
what I
bounce
do.
ideas off of people because I'm interested in what they think.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because it's new and I haven't, but I have started offering commission to my team. So when we Kickstarter, I give them their own unique code, because you can do that on Kickstarter, and they promote on their own social media using their own code, and then they get commission based off of the sales, not the shipping, the sales, right? But then the problem is that people are backing and they're not using their code. So then it can create like an administrative nightmare when I have to go through all of the backers to figure out who is theirs and who isn't. I could be mean and be like, well, if they don't use your code, you don't get it. But I don't want to do that to my team. Like, if they're working hard and they're recruiting people to our Kickstarter, I want to reward them for that.
So here's a way to. Well, no, sorry, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, you're like, ask the questions first.
I almost jumped into that pitfall.
I know. The other thing I want to think about too is duplicating myself in the con scene. Like my editor lives in a different state than I do. So I don't know how difficult that would be to kind of duplicate her running cons, but I would have to pay for all of that. You see what I mean? So I don't know, just ideas. I'm trying to be more efficient by duplicating myself. Free me up to do more things or just duplicate the work. Ask me questions.
Yes, who has questions? Who wants to go first?
Is this specifically Kickstarter related?
I mean, we can go that route. Like, I would like to talk about cons. Let's talk about Kickstarter
as a creator as a whole. This is
I'm trying to duplicate myself
to other people.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly, Rob. I'm asking, are you wanting to set out tasks for people specifically for the Kickstarter, or are you wanting to expand your creative team so you don't have to do everything yourself all the time?
I think I'm for this show, let's say I'm trying to drive business to the Kickstarter. I'm trying to think of ideas to have my team participate in that. See what I mean?
Okay.
To drive people to the Kickstarter. Let's just say social media aspect. Because there's only so many things, like I have to build the page myself. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want 17 people in there touching things. Changing your merch around. Oh my God. Kill everybody. Yeah. Carissa's like, oh my God, don't touch my merch. But yeah, like, how can we get our team incentivized to also participate, maybe in podcasts, maybe in social media? Like, let's think outside the box there, because a lot of times, like, Rob is the face of his project, JD is the face of his project. Where are the artists? Where are our editors? Where are our colorists? Are they participating in this, and why not? Shouldn't they want to?
Yeah. So I have another question. Do you have any other administrators that are allowed to do anything else on your page at all, or is it only just you?
Typically, it's just me. Not that I wouldn't give up rights to that.
That's just a question.
Yeah. I build the Kickstarter page just because nobody else wants to. I bet you my editor would, but I have all the stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I have to add to it is you have children.
Put them to work, damn it.
But aside, see, here's the thing. I mean,
before we get into the option, you sir are a host here. You should know this.
Yeah, I know.
Questions.
Well, I asked the question. She has kids.
That's not a question.
Yeah, I have kids, but that's interesting.
I should have phrased it as a question. Do you have children?
I do.
And how many children do you have?
I have 2 children.
And at what age?
They're 10 and 7.
And are they ready?
They're not old enough to have their own social media.
They were having water fights in the bathroom.
They were having water fights in the bathroom and got grounded yesterday. That's where they are.
Well, I mean, are they prepared to be trained?
I would not trust them, no.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Do you have any questions, sir?
Do you have contracts with these people, like to do your art and stuff? Okay.
Yes. They have contracts to do the art. I do in the contract say that they have to share. I share, but I don't think it does a lot. I think it does though, Matt. Matt is my colorist. And he does share and he's very vocal. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Is it the way that we share? I don't know. Do we need to teach social media marketing to the team? Because I don't think they're going to sit down for a class. Would you sit down for a class on that, Matt? I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for them to participate and get rewarded. Does that make sense? But yes, they are under contract to do the art. And then in the contract, it does say that they should be sharing on social media. I don't stipulate how much.
I mean, that's something.
Again, it's kind of hard.
Though. Like, a lot of people forget to do that. And then they're like, why are you sharing?
I didn't see this contract, but the contract for the Tales of Shock and Terror crew, which is a book I published, and then I helped them with their Kickstarter and stuff. But in their contract, I think it was during the Kickstarter, they had to share a couple times a day or something like that. I forget what the numbers were,
Okay.
but it was in there specifically, like this is how many times you have to share it every day and all that, or per week or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think once a week for the artist team, I think is okay because I'm already pounding every day. But should we make that more? And should that be in the contract? That's my question.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking about today, because I've never put that in any of my. Maybe like once did I talk to a creator about that, and that can be an issue for sure, because it's and just like you said, like they should want to be sharing that. Should be like, look at this cover I did, or these letters I did on this page or whatever, because your success is their success, because that gets their name out there more and everything. So
Yeah.
but artists are weird in general. Not I'm an artist as well.
Sorry, Matt.
Not a drawing artist, but musicians and any type of
Well,
artist, they're all.
I always say it's like herding cats, right?
They are
Artists
kinda like herding
cats.
Yeah.
It's near impossible. I do have another question. I was and some praise too, because I was just looking at your last Kickstarter page. I love it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
The amount of detail that you have on that page is incredible.
Thanks.
So that leads me to the question: are the 4 members or 3 other members beside yourself? Because I only looked at your last Kickstarter. Are they the same creative team for every book?
We had a new member this time. We changed out our penciler and inker, but Matt's been involved since issue 3, and Rachel, my editor, has been involved since the first issue.
Okay.
So we do have repeating people. Gilbert, this was his first time. But,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I have another question.
Yeah.
Are all your people American?
Yes.
Okay.
That definitely helps.
Most of us are in Texas. The only one that's not in Texas is my editor. We're actually we can do cons together for the most part. Matt's a little bit farther out, but Gilbert and I will be at cons together this fall. Yeah.
Just because you're in the same state doesn't mean it's drivable.
Doesn't mean we're
right,
close, especially Texas.
Right.
Big state.
Yeah, it's a little big. It's just a little
John and I are in Pennsylvania, but we're on the opposite sides.
Oh,
we're on opposite sides.
It's
Absolutely.
like a 6-hour
5
drive.
hours apart or whatever. Yeah, 6 hours, close to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will tell you too, when you do cons with the creators that you work with, promote that as a double signing, because those books will fly.
Mm-hmm. Any more questions before we get into the suggestions?
The only other one I have, a serious one somewhere, is would you be open to expanding it outside of your crew?
Yes, I have hired some publicity firms. I've hired inked publicity in the past. I haven't seen much of a difference, to be honest with you. I feel like I do a majority of the work myself, and that's just how a lot of creators are. I'm not knocking it. I enjoy it. I'm just looking at other ways to grow by getting more people involved, because again, time is so precious. I do my comic, I do my short films, I write riddles, I'm building the web page, and I got a full-time family too. So, and I make most of my merch. What's that?
It's like we're mirrored.
Yeah, I make most of my merch myself. So I'm making t-shirts, I'm making keychains. I learned how to laser engrave.
She's gonna start
I saw you make a book the other day.
Yeah, I got it right here. See, I'm working on the HTV for the cover and the back and the spine, but this was separate novellas for the Green Mile that I ripped the covers off and rebound myself.
That's
so
awesome.
I put a nice internal bookmark in there. So when it's all done, it'll be beautiful. Yeah.
I warned her not to use ink. She doesn't listen to me.
So just to follow up, aside from using, I guess, a company or something, have you ever given thought to maybe hooking up with a particular group of creators that are maybe launching all at the same time with you, to maybe get together and do cross promotion all at the same time?
I have done cross promotion. Corissa and I are in a group with several creators, and we have a spreadsheet, and we blast each other's campaigns out when they're live. Like when I'm live, I'm blasting out 2 and 3 campaigns, and they do the same for me. Also on my Kickstarter, if you go all the way to the bottom, I always promote other live campaigns at the bottom of my page as well. So I help others. They help me. I
Have you
always
taken
pay
the
it
next
forward.
step
I have my own
cross-promotion?
I have 2 podcasts where I promote indie creators. So hoping to build that karma as well.
So, have you taken the next level cross promotion and doing like a free print for backing both campaigns?
Corissa and I did that. Yes, we did.
There you go.
Cool.
It was really cool. It has Big James
No,
in
that
the
was hell.
background with Jude St. Clair and then Draven and Sarah.
Oh,
and
the
Draven
picture was cool.
he
The
wants to
actual
punch
thing
my
was
character in the
awful.
face. It's hilarious.
How did you guys keep track of that, or did you just?
Yeah,
That
no,
was
it
tough.
hell.
And that's the thing
No.
is I don't know if we would do it again
Nope.
because
That's the one thing that BackerKit is good for, is that I can have people enter a code given by the other creator into my fulfillment survey, and I can track it that way. And BackerKit lets you send the digital downloads once they enter that code.
Okay. But I'm not at 200 backers yet either.
That's
right
true. I'm just
around,
saying, just for future
like,
reference when you're
140,
doing that.
150.
Or
Yeah,
back with somebody big enough who can do that for you.
that's an interesting
Now,
thought as well.
Is that something available in BackerKit launch, or is it just
No.
BackerKit
Just
That's
BackerKit.
BackerKit Pledge
proper?
Manager.
Edge
Gotcha.
Manager, yeah.
Or is it-
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's the thing. I know Matt. I know. Matt's currently, he works so hard. He works on like 4 projects at the same time. You don't have to alienate them, but I incentivize you. So if they ask questions, you can tell them, Laurie's paying me to do this.
Tell them
So
the contract.
tell them if they want to pay you commission on pledges that you'll be happy to promote their stuff too. Meh.
Okay, so I think if everybody's got their questions out, we can start giving ye old advice. So who wants to go first with that? Josh, do you want to give some thoughts before you have to go?
I tell you what, man, you guys know a lot more about computers than I do. Like some of the things you've said, I didn't even know existed, like the codes for
BackerKit. Yeah, that's just something. That's actually a questionnaire thing that I made up.
It's on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, the incentive codes or whatever. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it generates its unique code, and I make one for every single one of my team. So when they share, and I tell them like they can just literally copy and paste what I posted for the day and just share it out to their audience and just slap their own code on it. And what happens is when you go into the dashboard, it'll show you. Remember, it shows you like people from Google, people from email, people from this. It'll show their codes in there as well, and it'll give you a dollar amount. So I can track and see, how many people are pledging based off of the links that they're sending out.
So
yeah,
and
if
again,
you go
it's a
into the
problem.
dashboard, it's a referral link.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still a problem when people are backing and they're not using their codes, and they're like, "Well, those are my people," and I'm like, "Well,
Those are my people.
fun times. Let's go through it and find them."
Yeah, honestly, and even like all that Google, like I see it, but I just like I said to John earlier, I just zip right through that stuff. I'm bad at this.
Gosh, slow down. Take some time.
Dude, I mean, just like everybody else, man, I come home every day, I work out, I do my writing, and then I do all the comic shit. And usually around like 7 at night, I'm like falling into bed almost. So
yeah,
there's a lot.
So, Corissa, do you have anything?
No,
No?
I don't know any. I do everything myself, so I can't help you get. If you figure it out, you let me know. But I can never have someone else do my fulfillment. I can't have anyone else do I gift wrap everything. So but I have all the time in the world. I don't have kids and stuff. So yeah. I have no life. I literally work 2 to 3 days a week. So
you want to do my fulfillment? I'll send it to you.
In all honesty, like I have all this time that I should be doing shit that I don't do. So I have no excuse except for I just don't do it and I'm lazy. So but yeah.
Come to my house. You can help me fulfill and we'll bake bread.
I have no advice on
you can eat bread.
I do like 1,000 things in a day and I do like 10 things in a month. So yeah. I got nothing for you.
I made a loaf of jalapeno cheese bread today.
Yeah. My advice is to get a plushie and you did and my work is done. So
fair enough. John, do you have anything?
Well, you know what? I think I still have another question. When you talk about, okay, so like with Matt, you talk about incentivizing your team to help share and promote your project. How are you doing that? So like you're creating the vanity URL for them to share. Then you can track, So let's just say in a perfect world, that Matt or somebody shared it and they got 10 backers from that, and you can see it in your dashboard that those 10 backers are from Matt's URL. How do you then incentive? What's the incentive for that? I understand it's money. Is that upfront? Do you tell all of your team that if you get so many backers, I will give you X amount, or you get X percentage of X? You understand?
It is a percentage that I offer.
All right.
That is interesting because we could always like do it as like a ladder. Like you get this many backers, it's this percent. You get this many backers.
That's exactly what I was gonna. That was my. So that's why I
I'm
asked
asking
that question.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I was going to go towards, is that, if you bring in 5 backers, you get X amount. If you bring in 10 backers, you get X amount. If you get, or X percentage, right? And then, so then it becomes more, then you've gamified the process of them trying to share, because they're just not, if I share it, I'll get, this percentage. But now if they know that the more they do, the more they get, that is the incentive.
I like it. I like that. That's great, because I feel like that should be, they should be rewarded. If they're bringing in 20 backers, oh my God, they should be rewarded.
And then on top of that, you could also have a competition within your group that
I don't know if they like that.
Well, wait a minute. It doesn't. They don't have to be actually competing. But think of it this way: if whoever gets the most, right? Whoever brings in the most backers gets an additional X.
Cookie. Oh, sorry.
A cookie. Some jalapeno bread, because you seem to enjoy breaking it. I don't know, but something.
Hot sauce.
Yes.
Did you see what they said? Vanity URLs get
that
buried.
is the problem with that too. Well, they can only post that once a day because Facebook and the algorithm will classify that as spam if you use the vanity URL too much. And that's the other thing. I want to help you guys with your posts, because I've been doing it. I've been doing a majority of the posts, and I post every day, right? So if you just take my post and blast my post, then you really don't have to think about it. You don't have to reword it. You don't have to pitch the story. I've already done it for you.
So a nice way to help with that, to kind of go talk on that, is so I use Trello which is basically a project.
I know Trello. Yeah.
So what I do, I work with Nita Lanning and Heather Ellen. They help me with my social promotion. So I do mine, and then they do theirs. I set up a Trello board with each. So I put up an image that I've made for that day. I put up the post that I'm, the content. They may change it, but so I set up for like the days, the times. I try to do like 2 a day in the middle, like beginning and maybe 1 a day in the middle. But like when I have something that I want them to promote, I'm putting it up on the Trello board, and they're members of that thing, and they're tagged on the card, so they can easily copy and paste and make any edits that they want to make, and then use the image or even use different images, as long as it's kind of like along the lines. But it's basically because you're doing the work anyway, right?
Right.
Like
that's my point.
If you do it ahead of time in Trello, they can grab that content as well, and you don't have to send it to them. They don't have to copy your stuff. They could just go boom, boom, boom.
That's an idea.
So those are, things that.
Poor Matt. He's like, please, Laurie.
But that's another thing too. Like, with artists, like you say, your artists are on the USA. That makes it easier too, because like with Carlos, he's in. Yeah, see, Nina's back there saying, yeah. See,
that's interesting. Okay.
But then when it comes to like my artists, most of mine are like foreign, and they don't really have their own social following. But if I work with
can you put the JPEGs in the Trello and they can grab them from there? Or
you can upload, you can attach it's free up to like the free platform. They give you a size limit, but anything social is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can put and you can do, if you're going to do one of those like carousel posts where there's multiple images, you can dump them all on one card too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's something that has been very helpful for me and for my social team that I've been working with. Highly suggest them both. But like, you know, going back to like what I was saying with, you know, your art teams, if they're in the US and if they have, you know, their own social building, their own platform,
They
you
do.
know, like with Matt, you know, he may not say, oh, well, I can't bring that many people, but he's one more person spreading it to a group of people that you don't have access to.
Exactly. They're
And
not,
that's
Matt's people are not all going to be my people.
right. And then that's the same with any variant cover artist. So I
Yeah.
have usually up to like 6 in you know, up to, in my campaigns, 6 different variant artists that, you know, they then promote out to their audience. So another nice trick is to then, like, if you're, you know, have an artist that's good, that can do your work and has a following that they
Yes.
can promote out to it. But also, you know, it helps to have that in the contract because I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody who was a very high profile artist who you would think would want to share out his stuff because, you know, his fans would eat it up. I had to like pull teeth to get him
Yeah.
to share it anywhere. So you would definitely, you know, want to keep an eye on that. And anybody who, you know, you see who's actually worked on Kickstarter a lot, who shares out a lot, you know, those are the ones that you really want to work with.
Nita Lanning, would you like to also be my social media thought? Just kidding. Nita, I love you. You know this, but we'll see. We can work something out.
The only thing I have to add, I mean, I was joking about the thing with your kids, but I mean, one of the things that I'm very fortunate with is that Daphne, as my partner, is also into comic books. And she also has her own books and she promotes, and she also helps me promote my stuff. And I don't know if you have a relative, you understand, it could be a cousin, aunt, uncle, who knows? You might have that relative who really is into your stuff that might be willing to help you. You understand? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, you know, Jay, he has, you know, his wife helps him. He has a couple of cousins help him.
Hey, Josh has got to leave, so let's give him a second
Bye,
to say his piece and to say where he can go find. Do you have a short link to your Kickstarter, or you just have a very long one we can share?
It's in the show notes.
That's cool.
Just that one in the chat, if you
Okay.
can still grab it.
So, tell the people who you are, where you are, and where they can find you, and we'll get one quick pitch for your book.
Oh yeah, shoot! Now, hang on, let me wake myself back up. Josh from my couch here in Ohio, Ohio's most offbeat publishing company since 2015. If anybody wants to check out Turkey Sharks, it comes highly recommended by Finish Line Comics amongst my son, who's 9. And you know, it's, if you like Mel Brooks, if you like Family Guy, if you like South Park, and if you like superheroes, this is going to be right up your alley. It's satirical. It's everything you want in a comic book: fighting, drama, silliness, funny. And this is issue number 5. It's done. We can get the whole series in one shot.
And I have been a backer for all 5.
He has, and it's super appreciated.
I'm jealous you only have 5.
Yeah, we did 3 separate series of 3 issues leading up to this. And they are also available, even though you don't necessarily need them to jump right in with issue 1. Digital and physical copies available, obviously. But yeah, I would love to hang out because I've learned like a shit ton of stuff. Just, it's going to take me like 3 days just to like remember all of it. But I definitely thank you guys for having me on. I definitely appreciate it.
It was good having you on, Josh.
Thank you for coming on, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
Meet you,
And
Josh.
like I said, his link is in the show notes. So it's down there. Click that link. It'll take you to his campaign. Buy
Thank
some
you, guys.
books.
Yep.
Go to sleep, sir.
Thank you. I will.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Later, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
So-
So sorry for cutting you off. Let's get back to Laurie.
Relative or friend that would be willing to help, like social
if-
media wise, or like
However they can help you.
work wise.
You understand? Because I know some there's at least 1 or 2 creators I know of that they've have a couple of brothers and sisters that live close, and they come over to help them pack their books.
All of that I have under control. I have plenty of
Okay.
family members Like that's not my concern. My concern is
Mhm.
driving people to the Kickstarter because the
Right.
family is involved. The family helps me make bottle hot sauce. The family helps me box up books. The fam. They're all there. So
Nice.
I'm good
But
for
yeah,
that.
but if you do have maybe some out of state that like like your stuff and want to help you out, if they could post once or twice a day, it never hurt, right? I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
convincing them to do so without an incentive. People feel weird until you're part of this community and you share your shit every day. People are
Mhm.
like, I'm spamming. And we still get that sometimes, right? Even
Right.
Josh was like, I'm spamming.
Mhm.
But it's hard when you ask your friends to do it. They might do it once in the campaign and that's it. So
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, if it's a
free hot
friend-
sauce.
what?
Free hot sauce, everybody. I'll send
Free
you
hot
a
sauce.
free
There you go.
hot sauce. I got packages of hot, like the ketchup packets in the Taco Bell hot sauce packages. I have those with my hot sauce. So I'll send you one of those. Hey,
There you go. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, look, however you got to do it. I mean, just get them.
just get them. All right, everybody. You heard JD. Get over to my house. We're fulfilling this bitch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I know you don't have any problem emailing. You have no problem updating. You have none of the problems that a lot of creators have. You seem to be very effervescent and present and outgoing. Have you thought about polling your fan base to ask them for some of your fervent fans that would be willing to help push and promote your Kickstarter?
Ask.
Creating, you can even create, obviously, if you find somebody, you can do the same thing that you're doing with your
So, they opened my hot sauce packet on a live stream and they're like, what is this? Is this a condom or lube? And I was like, oh.
I remember watching that one.
I was
That's
like,
awesome.
it's hot sauce. Good times.
Yeah, I mean that fans are your
what this
number one.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
It's
nice.
gluten free,
Awesome.
Carissa.
I don't eat hot sauce, but
It's
my
half of the
husband
pale
will,
sauce. Feed it to your husband.
my husband will eat that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Fried chicken. There you go.
I thought it was like sanitizer.
I'm done.
I would wash my hands with it.
Poor John.
Wash it
All right, let's bring this back in. Let's
Come
bring
on,
we still got to get to John's thing.
But
So
I
let's
like
finish
that.
this
I
up.
like that. Poll the audience. Ask them if there's people that are willing to participate, maybe in exchange
Yes.
for free merch.
Free merch, yeah, free books, all sorts of stuff. Your fans are your biggest what's the word I'm looking for?
Resource.
Yeah, your largest resource. They're the ones that are going to, their most fervent fans are the ones that are going to be like, hell yeah, I want to do that. I want to be involved, because then they're involved. They're part of the process. They, and they're not just stalking you online anymore. They're part of it, right?
Yeah,
That's,
not
and
very
that's why,
common.
when you're kind of going back to the emailing and treating people like you're talking to a friend, for
Exactly.
me, I call my audience my wolf pack, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
I am like, the wolf pack, we're going on the next hunt. Let's go. We're going to claw down this next stretch goal. We're going to,
did that, yeah.
it's always we.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
the riders. Mhm.
Mhm.
Riders on the path.
There you go.
So there you go. Hop on and ride. Let's go.
Mhm.
Pale Riders, mount up.
Currently, we're polling to see which weapon I use to destroy a jackfruit at the end of the month. So I'm excited for that.
Nice.
I don't know if you saw that, John, but I kill fruit as one of my stretch goals.
That's awesome. That's
Do
awesome.
you put googly eyes on the fruit?
No, but I will now. Jeez. I have googly eyes because I've got a
Gallagher
whole
didn't
pack
think
of
about
them.
that.
I have a whole pack. Well, I was going to say, I don't want to spoil it. I'll tell you guys after the show. Because I always send my people something extra in their Kickstarter thing that sometimes I'll ask them questions, but this one I know what I want to send everybody, and I'm not asking you questions. I'm just sending it to you because it's super funny. So I can't say what it is, but yes.
That's awesome.
I gotta warn you though, once you put the eyes on, you may not want to kill it because you might feel guilt.
Oh, have you met me?
I've never forced
Do you know who I am? Do you know I have like 6 knives like right here?
Apparently now he does.
There's two, I can kill you. That.
I forgot you were in Texas. I'm sorry.
It is more to do with being a martial artist, but yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I got all the knives. These are just my fun ones. See?
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
Do we
like
have
I like
any-
Matt's comment. That's great.
You can offer 11 by 17 commission.
There.
Matt, I love you.
There you go.
Thank you for just hanging out with me too. You know what I mean? On the live streams. Matt's always here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love you, Matt.
All right. So, does anybody have any more
Those are great tips,
ideas or anything before we move on to John?
No, let's do John's.
All right, John.
Everybody's tired.
John, you're up.
Hit me with your best shot, John.
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah. Well, so it really is tailored more. I know I'm going to get some good answers from you, Rob. I hope. But Ryan and I, for the first time, well, we ran our first Kickstarter for Worse Than Mayhem. That wasn't our first Kickstarter, but it was for our new property. And for the very first time, we did variant covers, right? So we had 3 variant covers, and they did pretty well. I mean, Kyle Roberts' cover was just amazing because it was
that one. I think
cover.
is that the one that I got?
Yeah, that's the one you got.
Yeah. I think. I was like, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. And we got 3 covers now. And we did this really derpy. I call it the cash grab cover. Because we did a not safe for work cover for the D&D character thing. Ryan connected with Doxina to do it. The real question is, one, there's 2 parts to this. How many covers is really the good sweet spot for covers, and how do you get the cover artists? And part of that was answered already with a contract, but it kind of goes along with Laurie's thing. How do you get them to help promote their cover on the Kickstarter so people want to back to get their art, right? So that's where we're at right now.
So all right, so the question is, how do you
motivate them to want to push their art and share that on the Kickstarter? Okay. And is 3 too many? Is 6 not enough? How many?
How many covers, and how do you get them to help promote?
Exactly. See, there's a reason why you're in charge.
I don't know about in charge, but
yeah. You and JD, but we all know it's you. So
listen, and I'm good with that.
You said that quiet part out loud.
I'm good with that. That's fine.
Okay. So before I get into my questions, let's go around. Corissa, do you have a question for John?
No, I'm half asleep.
Carissa's half asleep because she's cuddled up with her plush.
I know.
And my robe. I got my robe on. Apparently, there's a vent under my desk, and it makes me cold.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish I had a vent under my desk. My office is roasting.
Oh, we can switch.
I would love to. Yeah, like I only have one AC unit and doesn't go upstairs, so like I'm boiling here.
What state are you in? Because
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, because we're in Tennessee, we would be dead. So.
So Laurie.
How do you approach variant covers? Are you going in saying you need a certain amount of covers? You're not going into. Are you putting aside a budget? Are you? How are you approaching?
Yes. So yes and no. So we right now we have 3. So we did 3 for the first campaign, and we're doing 3 for this campaign. Kyle Roberts actually asked to do the cover for our campaign for the first one, and we approached 3 artists that we knew that we liked, that we wanted to have in this campaign. And the very first thing we ask is, hey, would you be interested, and how much would you charge to do it? Right. So that's right. Those are really the 2 main questions. We want you. How much do you charge? Right. And then we go from there. And, of course, as you probably know, pricing on covers varies from, somebody who undercuts themselves to somebody who thinks they're just,
Yeah, I have ones that are 70, and I have some that are 900. So
yeah, exactly.
Do you research these artists prior
Oh,
to
well,
offering
there
them?
are people within the network that we already know most of them.
But
Yes.
do you
We know them.
research if they promote their work?
Social media.
Is what
Are
I
you
you
do
actually
looking
not.
at their
want.
social media?
I do not.
Well, you want
Okay.
that because that's like I have like I have some artists that I pay, $900 and they don't do anything. So what good is it? And then I have ones
Unacceptable.
that, huh?
I said unacceptable.
And that's a lot.
And then I have ones that are like 150 and they send it to everybody. So
Yeah, I think it
They're
depends
so
on the level.
hungry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah.
That's
Before
true.
we
That's a good
continue
point.
on with that, any more questions for John?
Do you let them read the script?
Yes.
Do you let them in? Okay.
I've only been asked by one artist what happens in the book. That's it.
Nah.
Nobody
And
else.
then do you
That was,
contract every single variant artist?
I have never contracted anybody. Is that a thing?
I
I've
mean,
never done that.
Technically, you contract them whenever you have them do a commission.
Yeah, but you
just
don't
haven't
write a
had them sign a
contract.
Do you
contract.
put
I
in
don't
a-
have
like
an
do you
actual
make them sign something that says this is what we're paying you and this is the da da
No,
da? I'm
I
just
don't.
curious.
No,
So you're asking me or Carissa? Because she's answering.
I'm asking you, John.
Okay.
I know Carissa doesn't. I know Carissa.
Yeah. So far we have not done a formal contract with any of our variant artists.
Rob, do you do a formal contract with variant artists?
Not so far, not with variant artists. I've done it
Okay.
with my actual art teams.
Yeah.
But after, I guess it depends on the person. After that high profile fellow who basically told me that I had to pull the teeth for, anybody who's above a certain pay grade will be definitely contracted and mandatory to fulfill the social fulfillment, our obligations, if you will, because it depend on who it is and how much they think their time's worth versus like the people who are, like, as you said, hungry and are trying to get out there.
Is this? Are you signing a contract because you worry they're not going to finish it? Like, what is your?
No. I'm if they're already doing like contract and commissions and stuff, that's more or less at that point at that pay level, because there has been another high level person who ghosts me and who agreed to do a cover and never did, but luckily I didn't pay them yet.
I pay after, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, my point, yeah, for that, it's one, to cover, to make sure that they don't ghost me, and two, to make sure that they do some social promotion, just kind of like to cover my bases there. But again, I typically, like, I go out, but we'll talk more about what I do when we get to that point. JD, question.
You guys already asked it. Yeah, the one question I had, you already asked. I mean,
It was me. I did it.
No, but that's fine though, because it is covered. Because the thing is I also am doing a campaign which has like 6 covers in it, and doing some raunchy ones or whatever, and it's all good. But yeah, I mean, and the thing.
Connoisseur.
We're all adults here. You can have whatever you want on a cover. Whatever.
I mean, look, I wrote some serious adult comics back in the day, so yeah, it's all good.
I've heard all about these lablugas.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So I will ask my questions. For all right. So, like, what do you feel is like your limit when it comes to doing, like, a lot of it's going to depend on like your bandwidth and how much you feel like managing the back end. How much do you feel is too much for a cover, and how are you currently pricing? Because I kind of forget, because it's been a minute since I backed it.
So all of our covers are priced at the same price. So the variant covers are a little bit more than our normal cover that either Ryan's done both covers for these 2 issues, for the first issue and the second issue. He's done the main cover, but the variant covers are a little bit more, but they're all priced the same as far as the goals go. I don't have a problem having more I don't have a problem. So in Ryan and my relationship for Commonwealth Comics, I am the taskmaster. I am the guy that is like.
Well, you kind of have to, considering Ryan's always like snappy.
Exactly. That's why we work well together, because he is the today I'm going to work on this, but then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to start on this one. And hey, did you start on cover 4 yet? And we're like, we're launching issue 2. Wait a minute, So
yes, the shiny new things.
And on top of all of that, he's doing crossover division and everything else, right? So he's he's all over the place. So my job is to be the taskmaster and make sure that everything is done and follows you can see the board behind me. I got dates and shit written up there.
At least you don't have all the red yarn that's like conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It might. So it's going to look like A Beautiful Mind at one point, right?
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We don't have a set price range. We normally ask the artist, how much do you charge? So when we approached Matta Sorcier to do the cover, because we wanted that, she's doing a cover for us. It's a throwback pulp looking, from the early, pulp type comic. We really wanted, because we love her art and we wanted that done. She gave us a price, and then we asked Doxina to do her cover, which is the for the adult themed connoisseur, and we got a price for that, and and then we asked another artist that we know, John Mueller, who is amazing, and we got his price, and so the price isn't really, if it fits within our budget, we don't have a problem paying the covers range from $150 to $400. That's where our cover pricing has ranged. Most of them are nearer the $400 range, but like John Mueller's was, he did the pencils and inks for the cover. So he did finished. And then we wanted Ryan to do the coloring. Ryan wanted to color over his art, so we worked out a deal with him, got a reduced price for that, because Ryan was doing the finishing on it.
Right.
Coloring. What was your question? Oh, your question was,
I'm only laughing because we're all at that point. We're like,
Yeah.
It was kind of a two-parter, but I guess to add on to my question,
yes.
So how are you? So they're limited. What are you limiting them to? And are you only doing 201, 101, and 50?
We're doing 50 of each. 50. We're only doing 50 of each.
That would make sense why you have the same price tier for those.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So we're only doing. One of the things that we wanted, and maybe their strategy is wrong. One of the things that we were trying to do was make them super exclusive. They're only going to be available through the Kickstarter. You're not going to be able to buy them anywhere else, right? It's a one-time thing. We wanted some exclusivity for that versus, you go to, when we're at a show, you can get the regular version of the comic, the normal trade version of the comic, but you're never going to be able to get the variant cover unless you back the Kickstarter, right?
Okay.
Or back a Kickstarter. They may be available in future Kickstarters as add-ons, but they're never going to be available outside of Kickstarter.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I do have something to ask. If there comes a point in the campaign where you see one of the covers is sold out, right? And at this point it's sold out, so it's done, right? Would you either be willing to do a different variant of that cover, like let's say a chrome version of it? You understand? Would that be something you'd be open to? You understand? Because you may be leaving money on the table.
I never thought of adding an additional tier, like making a metal cover or a chrome cover.
That's another way to utilize the same piece with it being different
and bringing it up a higher
metal covers,
covers, that's great.
Glow in the dark covers, wooden covers. There's tons of different materials.
Yeah, variant cover doesn't mean that it's different art completely.
Right.
Carissa had one cover that was scratches or no scratches. It was literally the same cover. You could get it with scratches on it or no scratches.
We had a war to see which one would win.
It
Laurie
started a
won.
war, yeah, on Facebook. It
Her.
did.
As long as
Team
it wasn't scratchy,
scratches.
it was okay.
She won by 2. It wasn't that big.
Ah, we still won. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
But yeah, like I have a variant on mine now. She has a regular outfit in one and a nurse outfit in another. So, and it didn't cost me anything for that variant, but people are buying both. So that was cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
John, you can
That's
also do
kind of like the
sketch
people
covers.
who, yeah,
Sketch covers have nothing on them, just your logo at
yeah.
the top.
yeah, people
Right.
buy those, or or like if you do like the non-safe, you can do a safe version of that, and all they do is just take off a layer, and people want both.
Listen,
So,
I got bikinis, safes, and non-safes. So
I can't do not safes.
Yeah.
But
So-
everyone else.
I did one. I think that's all I'm gonna do.
But this is probably the only one that we're going to do. It fit within the Kickstarter framework for this one because we have Yetis in this version, and we had a really derpy cover made with a female Yeti and a male Yeti, and there's a sign that says no sex, and the female Yeti is naked, and the male Yeti is kind of standing behind her, and he's all googly with red heart eyeballs, and it's really cool looking cover, but it's
aren't they furry?
How can she be naked if she's furry?
She's naked.
Oh, we'll have to see this
yeah.
after the show. Sorry. We'll have to pics or it didn't happen. One of those things.
So shall we get to answering the
Bring
question?
it. I'm just kidding, John.
Okay.
Oh no,
so
that's fine.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions, or do we have? Are we ready to move on to the official suggestion?
Official answer period.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
Okay. Corissa, do you have anything?
Well, I don't have that much of a following yet, so I only do 2 variants. I do one lower priced one and one higher priced one. So if one doesn't sell, I'm not out as much money as if I did 2 higher ones. So I usually do one between 70 to 150, and then one that's between 400 and 900. And then I usually do 10 medals, and I just switched it where 5 numbered are medals and 5 are metal with blacklight. So
that's
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and 4, and they're numbered, so it's only. But what sold amazing that I honestly didn't think was going to sell. So I had a really good artist, Ivan Tao, who has a huge following, and I did glow in the darks, but they're really expensive, and I didn't think any of them would sell, so I priced them really high. That way, if 2 people bought it, it paid for them, and 3 people bought it, and then I split it in half and did 5 and 5 instead of 10, and those people bought the other ones too. So I actually sold each one for $150.
That's nice.
And I made $600 on a $250 purchase. So that worked out really well. That was a little risky, and that was one of the few that I didn't buy ahead of time, because I kind of didn't want anyone to buy it because I didn't want to.
Those are the ones that you need to wait.
Yeah.
You can't just do that up front. Yeah.
I do buy my medals ahead of time. I do like the medals, but I don't, even though they're priced kind of low, mine don't sell as much as others people. So it kind of depends on the cover. But I only get 10 of those. But I don't do a lot of covers because I don't have a huge following. I just want to give them a choice. So I have my regular cover, and then I have 2 variants, and then sometimes I'll have like an extra. Like I think for issue 13 and 14, there's 4 because I added the sexy chick to it. So I have 4. But now I split them up so that there's usually enough 4. So to me, it's not as big an investment, because if I only have 150 backers, I only buy 25 of each variant. So it gives them an option, but I'm not spending a lot. And then I price them depending on, usually it's $15 or $19 depending on how cheap it is or whatever.
Laurie?
So when I consider a variant artist, I do some homework. A lot of times it starts with the content of the issue that I'm producing. And if some of the work that I've seen them in their portfolio, what they're posting matches the concept of what I'm looking for. I need someone who can do bears every single issue because I got a giant freaking undead bear, right? And so I'm approaching the people that actually can do bears well to do the bear cover, right? But I think that you are on the right track when you let people read the material. They're more passionate about what they're creating. They're more involved in the art on the page. And I find that people are more likely to share something they're passionate about. And I do research their social media history. I look to see what they're posting and how often they post it. Because if they're already in that and they're promoting their brand and they have a following, if they do raffles and the commission list is open, everybody, because it was closed. I use William Russell every campaign. He has a following. He does cons. He is always promoting, and he and I actually cross markets because now I write his Psycho Sal. So he will push Path when it's running. He will always push his cover to his people, and they come. And then I push his Psycho Sal. So having that almost like a barter relationship with an artist is beneficial. So if you can find someone that is willing to go into something like that with you. And I usually look for a variety of price ranges. I go in with a budget and I say, okay, I'm going to spend, X amount of dollars ish. I might go slightly over, but I try to stick within my variant cover budget. And so if I get a pricier artist, maybe my other guys are not that much. You know what I mean? But everybody needs to have some kind of following to be promoting, because otherwise, what are we doing? Right. Because there's so many artists out there that will do both. They can create great art and they also are promoting. So why would I stick to the guy? I might love his art, but if he's not promoting me, no one's getting it anyway. And then I will invite people back based off of their sales. So I have this one guy who's been doing variant covers for me since the beginning. And he always has a top seller. So if he has a top seller and he's out selling these other three guys, he comes back every time. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I compare. And then again, I'm like Corissa, I only print so many. I do print some extra for myself because I'll go to different signings and stuff and like Comic-Cons. But once they're sold out, they're done. I might reprint one or two of them for a con and that's it. But once a lot of them they're done, then I'm not reprinting them either. So you still want that exclusivity. If you really want to motivate people, you got to put dollars behind it, man. If they want dollars, then they would be willing to sign a contract, and then you could put into writing the promotion. So you can say, hey, if you promote weekly, and you bring in so many backers, again, this is the same thing that I was looking for. Like we can put dollars on it. You could get a percentage of the sales of your cover based on, that you are participating. It's not that you're pushing it, because they need to use, again, a vanity URL. So that way, that they are bringing sales, because I'm pushing your product too. So if people are backing because I'm pushing it, you're not getting a cut of that. Sorry.
Yep.
That's my hard work. Right.
Yeah. No, I like that. I dig that.
And I'm done. That's all I got to say.
JD, do you have anything, or do you just, since you're thinking about the cover thing too, do you want me to just go ahead and jump in?
Well, the only thing I would have to add is the thing that I basically told John in the first place is, think of because the covers are expensive, right? And the way I think of the covers, I get variant covers for Oswald. I try to have one extra cover. I have the main cover by the main artist, and I try to get one variant. And covers are expensive, right? So so I try to utilize them in as many ways as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I put them on trading cards. I usually do a limited edition, but I'll usually, sometimes I'll do a virgin cover of it, however many ways I can use it. I try to utilize it to try to pull as much value out of it as I can. And I think that's perhaps one of the things you should look at. Like I said, metal covers, foil, there's different types of foils. You can get green foils, blue foils, red foils. You can do all kinds of stuff depending on what the image is. Sometimes those different types of foils can really make an image pop.
No,
stop making John cry, JD.
I get up at 4:30 every day, so this is
he's tired too.
Everybody's sleepy.
Yeah, I'm old.
I'm not sleepy. I'm not sleepy at all.
Yeah, you
She's an hour behind our sleepy.
I know. I'm
It's
like,
it.
I'll be sleeping in
It's
about
it.
an hour.
There you go.
Funny.
So I'm sorry, Rob. Well, it's all yours now.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
So I, the way I do a lot of mine, I have, I limit them differently so that I can change the price range. So I will go up in price by 5 each variant cover, and a lot of it's kind of like what Laurie said. It's I do my investigation of who's hot right now on Kickstarter. Do they push socially, and do they have a following, and if can they draw werewolves? That's my big thing.
See?
Right.
But
No, but they can do ballerinas really well.
right?
I can draw werewolves, but he's never asked me to do it. Just saying.
Can they do mice? Can they do mice?
I knew this.
So, but
thought
with
that's
you going into the actual getting an artist for you to work with on these, the amount of if they have that. The other thing too is, do they work in your genre that you're trying to push? Because if they are a sci-fi artist and their fans are buying the sci-fi art, and you're doing Dungeons and Dragons style, that's a completely
Oh yeah, That's one of the things that we definitely vet is we're looking for artists that fit our genre.
Yeah.
We're not using
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like that one that Kyle did was amazing. It was perfect. It just, if you do more of that, he probably would do a non-safe if you wanted to do something again like that. Or
definitely he would.
Or John can't even make sentences anymore.
Or,
how about it? The guy is
another good one is the one
Holy
that
shit! I can say bad words though really easily.
But the guy that Clay Adams uses, Luca Strozzi or whatever his name is,
Luca Brazzi, he sleeps with the fishes.
It sounds just like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's an Italian artist who does amazing work. And he's very high fantasy. I think would be a good one for you. And he brings in the people. His art's just that good. He doesn't even need to promote it because from across the ocean. But that's just that's the kind of stuff I look at. I look at the style. Do they have a following? What their following is? What my book is? And then when I'm working with them, I will offer up all of my digitals for them to read. Oftentimes they don't take that. And they want me to tell them what to do.
Well, you have 35 digitals. They don't want homework.
Well, now I have 2 volumes, so exactly.
You just trick them. It's only 2 files, but they're like 700 pages each.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But then I will. But I do most often. I will go to an artist and say, "I know what your style is. I think you would be great doing this particular scene from the book."
Yeah, that we've done that. We've given prompts, basically prompts to the artist. Like for John, we told him to draw whatever he wants because we knew it was going to be amazing. For Kyle, it was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ray Griffith from Astounding Tales is going to do a variant for us soon.
Nice.
And we kind of told him we didn't tell him exactly. We just said, here is the scenes that we think your style would fit the best from the book. And then he got to read, the book, that kind of stuff. But I do we haven't done a lot of homework on their social media presence, so we haven't looked at, how they, because most of the artists that have done the variant covers for us so much, and it's so it's 6 artists right now, right? Two volumes, 6 artists. They're artists that all but one is someone we know, like, and trust already. The other one, we know other people who know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and that was kind of the impetus to, to get a variant artist was like, hey, we dig their art. Do they want to do a cover? Right.
Yeah.
But we need to, I think, especially with this conversation going on, we need to approach it more on, will they promote? Do they promote? How big is their audience? Do they have a following? and then work a contract in that says, hey, we want to hire you, we're willing to pay you X, and you need to promote, right? So
I mean, you
yeah.
can if you want to. Like, I mean, some of
I
the
like
guys
the percentage
I
of sales
don't.
thing too.
It's just depends on how you want to approach it. And like some of the guys that are hungry and they're already sharing, I don't necessarily put it in there.
Yeah, I would just say
And I might just show up in their DMs and
But-
be like, "Hey, your cover's doing really well. Give it a share." You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
remind
Yeah.
them.
I mean, we don't really have a formalized contract
Right.
for them already. I mean, it's kind of that. I guess you could say that the back and forth email or direct message, with the artist, because a lot of them are in our network anyway, kind of represents the contract,
Yeah.
and hey, we want you to do a cover. Are you interested? Yeah, hell yeah, I'm interested. Okay, we want you to do it for issue 4, and here's what it's about. Here's the link, blah blah blah. And then what do you charge? And they say this, and then I guess we could just add something to that just says, hey, do you mind promoting, when the Kickstarter's live or
Yeah.
whatever.
I think too, like one thing that you need to do, and what I've done, the people who, even if they are promoting on their
Right.
own, you need to let them know, hey,
What you're expecting.
I'm live.
Right.
Hey, here's a link.
Right.
So that's something like you like, hey, I'm live, or when you get close to a stretch goal or something, you'd be like, hey, we're almost. Can you put share it out? We're almost this close. Like that kind of stuff. That's good to do. And I think doing there, because if you're doing multiple covers, it's nice to put them on rotation. So
Right.
that would be like your number of when you're having them promote. It would be like, okay, well, you're on day 3, you're day 1, you're day 2. Kind of like, if you were stagger, you say, okay, we're promoting your book, your cover on this day. Can you promote it on this day to spread it out?
Right.
You can
Right.
coordinate that,
I see people do this in preparation for their Kickstarter. They will do like, here's the bio of the artist that's doing a variant cover. Like to be like, here's everything about, Rob. And then the next day would be like, here's Rob's cover. And this is all like building hype before the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great way. Like if you have multiple artists that you could promote them, and lead up to that. And then of course, now hopefully they feel like they owe you something, because here you are promoting them on your socials. They should be promoting you as well.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, you saw this thing that we're promoting. It's live now. Here's the link. Go get it.
Yeah.
But they'll be busy. They're working like Matt's working on 4 books. So I have to go into the DMs in our group and just be like, hey guys, go give us a shout. We're in our plateau. We need it.
Right.
And you can get a feel with who's easy. Like when they say, oh yeah, sure. And they do it right away. You know, you got a good one. When you were like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then they don't ever do it. And then you got to keep bugging them to do it. That's when you're a bad egg.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't had that situation. So
again, I find it to be like the higher price ranges tend to be, and they're probably, when they're above like 700 or plus, they
$900.
They're busy doing the commissions and worrying about their own stuff.
You can complain about that, but he brought in over 1,000. So
see, and it just depends. You know what I mean? Like if it's a top seller and he's not promoting, nuts to that. It's still bringing in stuff to your campaign. But if they're not promoting and people don't know it exists and it's not selling well, then what did I spend money on it for?
Exactly. The cover needs to cover its cost.
At minimum.
I'm never doing that high again.
It needs to cover its cost at minimum. It should be creating at least 5x for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's just regular. That's just a business thing. You understand? If you own any business, 5x is what you're supposed to be looking at. Sometimes you're just happy with double, but you take what you can get, right? But
especially in this day and age.
Yes.
All right. Great. Good stuff.
All right, cool. So Rob, we got it? We're good?
Yeah, we're good. I think we're at hour 2. So let's go around and say our adieus and who we are and where you can find. So Corissa, let's tell them where they can find you, where your campaign is, and all that fun end of show stuff.
My feet are cold.
End of show stuff.
I'm Corissa Grant, Worthy Chaos, and I have a Kickstarter every 6 weeks. So we're either always in pre-launch or always live. So there's always, and when Western starts, there'll be 2. So good luck with that. And you could just search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. We're always on there. You could search Worthy Chaos in Google and like 7 things for us pop up. And you can add me, Corissa Grant, on Facebook. And yeah, that's that. So, and I'm live now. So
She's live. Go do it
I'm
now.
live now. So,
Do it now.
Yeah,
Do it.
All right,
Get to
Laurie.
the chopper.
Get down.
Get down.
No.
No, your luggage.
Pocket. Do it.
That was the best one.
Yes.
I believe I could do voice acting, for shows.
good to know.
Yeah.
Hey, I might need some of that. I got a short film coming up.
Nice. Yes.
Some
Let me
voice
know.
actors.
I'll practice the character.
Rob?
Practice a bear.
Actor. No, we don't have bears in a short film. No. Much more
Laurie,
serious.
where can they find you and what you got going on?
I'm Laurie Calcaterra, writer, creator, and administrator for Corissa Grant. I am the creator of Path of the Pale Rider. I also run 2 podcasts weekly. I host a Tuesday Morning Brew on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Any One World Showcase on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me just about everywhere when my Kickstarters are live, because I don't shut up either. And I'm not live right now. We're in production. We're making a bunch of stuff. I still have to make hot sauce, but I was going to wait until it's a little further. Let's see. You can go to my website. All my stuff is there. You can pre-order issue number 5s because we have not gone to print yet. You can even get the digital copy of our trade paperback that is available. It's all on www.pathofthepalerider.com. All of our riddles, short films, and Easter eggs are also there. I'm currently working on something special for that website. I have a blog that nobody reads, and I would be surprised if somebody read it because I'd call a bunch of people out in that blog. No one has said anything yet, so yeah. I'm going to be at some Comic-Cons in October. I can shut up now. Thank you. Join my group, Path of the Pale Rider, on Facebook. Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, one more thing. At last Tuesday of the month on the Tuesday Morning Brew, we are smashing a jackfruit. It is our slice and dice and Laurie Calcaterra's 100th episode of the Tuesday Morning Brew. So come join us. I will dress up as Pikachu and smash the hell out of this thing. I'm going to light it on fire with some sparklers. We're going to have a blast.
Nice.
Don't forget the googly eyes.
The googly, we're going to talk about that. I haven't said what was happening. Something is happening with the googly eyes.
Nice.
I will put some googly eyes on the jackfruit. I promise.
Okay.
I'll get out the hot glue gun. It'll be ready.
All right, John.
Oh my God, how do I follow that?
You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
He's like, see ya.
You don't.
You're like, bye.
Good night, folks. I'm John Edingfield II. I am the co-founder of Commonwealth Comics, the co-creator of Worst and Mayhem. We have a campaign live right now. If you go to worst.mayhem or worst-mayhem.com, it's WURST for worst, and mayhem spelled the traditional way. And you can find us, both Ryan Kroboth and myself, on commonwealthcomics.com, and that takes you to all of our places. And that's it. That's all I got.
All
I have no podcasts. I have no shows. I don't smash any fruit.
Oh yeah, Laurie and I have a show on Mondays. I always forget.
Yeah,
that.
Carissa does a non-show. We talk about sharks and
It's a
shit.
non-show. We talk about nothing. This show is way too thought out. We don't have that. Our show is the opposite of what this show is. That's how you know
Brown,
what.
what's up, man? You're up late. Another Pennsylvanian native, Christopher Brown. Hey, good people. So hot right now.
So, JD, would you like to tell the good peoples where you are, and then I'll close her out?
All right. So I'm JD Calderon, the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles, currently running on Kickstarter. And yes, and on Sunday nights, I run another show called Indie Comics Explained, where I talk to various creators about independent comics, the issues going on in the industry. Last Sunday was very, very interesting. John was there. He was witness to it.
Yes.
I just have to say, I do want to say this, though. So I have been accused of being a little nihilistic, which is fine. But here's the thing, though. When I get to finish a thought in my nihilism, I always finish it with, I hope I'm wrong. Prove me wrong, please. Because that's the point of me looking at the most bleak place, is because I want to be wrong. You understand? I want to be wrong. Believe me, I want to be wrong. So and that's the point. I didn't get to talk to the other individual, but we did make up. Me and C, we patted each other's backs from long distances, and we shook hands a bit.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, oh, and one other thing, please go into the show notes, go into the links, click on those links. Everybody's campaigns, if they're active, are there, including mine. And go buy these books, man, because they're awesome. You understand? John makes a great book. Carissa makes great books. I'm trying to make great books. So there you go.
I have my
Rob,
moments.
Rob and I don't make books.
Well, you don't have an active campaign.
I got a website.
Okay. Oh yes, and Rob makes great stuff.
Yeah, he makes all the stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, you can find me at Lone Wolf Comics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me also at Rob Multari, same places. Currently, I have a Kickstarter going for this fluffy fellow here, inspired by this children's book here, inspired by my comic books, which there's a lot of inspiration flying around. So yeah, go check those out at nightwolf.wolfpackpups.com. That'll redirect you to that insanely long Kickstarter link. And or you could visit us at lonewolfcomics.com or wolfpackpups.com. And we did it. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us tonight. This is episode 2, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for the next next show.
Yep. Thank you, and have a good night. And don't forget, buy Laurie's books too, because they're awesome. Thank you.
Because otherwise, I'll show up at your front door.
Yes. With hot
Just
sauce.
if it's Pikachu
with
a
hot
jackfruit
sauce.
with your name on it.
There you go.